Hi, awesome human anatomy and physiology students. I'm going to use this video as a demonstration of how to walk through the close study of your skeleton activity. So you should have drawn your chosen limb in your notebook and labeled all the bones. Again, you can do either the skull, one of the arms, one of the legs, one of the hands, or one of the feet. And so in this video now, I would like you to hold up your own limb and walk us through, kind of show the bones that you've labeled in your drawing. And you can have your drawing in front of you to refer to, or your textbook. I have my textbook in front of me, honestly. But the point is to kind of just take some time to see where the bones actually are on you and practice saying the names. And I encourage you to use Google Pronounce. You can just in Google type a word and then pronounce, and it pulls up a little tool where you can practice the words. So try to get your pronunciation right. Take your time. I'm going to do the chest cavity, thoracic cavity. Now, ideally, you would be showing us your actual, like if you're showing us your feet, show us your actual foot, take a sock off or anything like that. I'm not going to take my shirt off. I don't think anyone wants to see that, and I don't want to get fired. But let's walk through the what's called the thoracic cavity or thoracic cage, or the rib cage. Starting at the top, you have your clavicle bones, which are these a lot of athletes break these. You can really feel them if you adjust your shoulders. They hook into another bone over the shoulder called the acromion. The acromion, which was one of the bones you had to identify in an earlier activity. The acromion is actually just kind of a ridge that comes off of what's called what we know as our shoulder blade in the back here. That's actually referred to as your scapula, and it has a number of different parts to it. And all of that is where the humerus of the arm hooks into that little ball and socket joint, and all of those things work together to allow for that pretty efficient 360-degree motion. Right inside where it connects, there's what's called the coracoid process, which is essentially like a little nub of bone, which you can kind of feel if you get below your clavicle right there. In the center of our chest, we have what's called the sternum. There's actually kind of a bone shield right there that looks like a dagger, and it's got three parts to it. The upper part is called the manubrium. The middle part is just the body of the sternum, and then the lower part, which is kind of the sharp little bit, is called the xiphoid process. Now that's actually bone. But the way the ribs hook into it, it's actually cartilage. It's referred to as costal cartilage. It's a little bit softer, and I think that just allows for more movement and the chest to expand a little bit when you're breathing. Best way to tackle the rib cage is to actually go down the back. So you have what are called your thoracic vertebrae, because they're associated with the rib cage, and there's 12 of them, and you have 12 ribs. They are numbered 1 through 12 at the top, T1, T2, T3, all the way down. And each of those vertebrae have two ribs coming off of either end. Your ribs, you can kind of feel them if you get kind of close in, but you've got 10 ribs going down, so they're number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way down to 9 and 10. Those are the ones that do the full loop around and then hook into the sternum with the cartilage, the costal cartilage. But you do have two more, so ribs 11 and 12 are more towards the back. They don't come all the way around to complete the cage. Okay, and I think those were all the major parts. So, hope this was helpful. Walk us through what you've learned about your limb. If you're not comfortable showing a part of yourself, then just let me know. We can figure something out. And again, it's optional detail, but if you want to take the time to use a Sharpie or something to draw on some of the bones, even just in a rudimentary way, so you can point to them and name them, that would be helpful, but again, not something I would require. Hope this helps.